What is the difference between RPG, JRPG, and MMORPG? Finally, my team decided to make this video to share important information for a gamer, because every time I make a video of these titles, many of my subscribers cannot find the difference between those genres. We will try to deliver the information in detail, but we will explain it more simple words that I'm sure you all will understand by watching this video. RPG is a role-playing game. Basically, the game will focus on the storyline as the main mission to clear any quest, supported with visual scenes, a strong storyline, and depth of the story expression. So let's find out about the extension of these words and how the game's mechanism concept will work on it. I will start with the JRPG first. JRPG stands for Japanese role-playing games, so every RPG game that is made from that country, which is Japanese, is the only requirement. We can call it as the JRPG. Simply, this kind of genre should be made by 100% Japanese games developer. Even the graphic of anime seems so similar and generic, but the authentication of the Japanese anime is quite different than the other countries who want to make a JRPG visual. A games developer who are really popular from Japan, like Square Enix. I'm sure most of you know what game they made, such as a Final Fantasy Remaster series, Chrono Trigger, Chaos Ring series, Valkyrie Profile, Dragon Quest, and Trials of Mana. I would like to highlight JRPG. It has a special treatment on how the game always leads the player to understand the story by delivering the main storyline deeply and perfectly through the visual scenes, conversation, and even the music background is absolutely fantastic. Most of the JRPG games have a turn-based mechanism system. Even sometimes we will find the action RPG one, so it's quite easy to notice the game since the creator is from Japan. One more thing, most JRPG games have an anime visual, either 3D or 2D. The second one is RPG. Basically, it has the same main gameplay, technical system, and how the combat based with the JRPG. But the RPG games genre, we can't call it if the game is not made by the Japanese games developer. So RPG is the opposite of JRPG only by seeing who's the creator behind some games project. No matter if it has a 100% similar or the same gameplay, it doesn't matter. As long as the game is not made by a Japanese countries. It's pretty simple, right? And right now, we can see so many RPG games based on the mobile platforms that have a different subgenre, like AFK RPG, Idle RPG, Adventure RPG, Action RPG, Turn-based RPG, or Story Novel RPG. On the Play Store, there are tons of most popular role-playing games that have been downloaded by over 1 million players, like Punishing Grey Raven or PGR, Aether Gazer, and many more. Surprisingly, since the mobile game dominates the game industry, the Korean games developer has a massive progress on dominating mobile games now. In a few years, Korean developers have proved it by the game of the Seven Knights and Solo Leveling. But you must remember, the Chinese games developer is always showing the fast progress on developing role-playing games like Wuthering Waves and also Genshin Impact. The last one is an MMORPG. From 3 different games genre, I would love to play MMORPG because for some reason I can easily explain the reason why. With a multiplayer game will push your gaming experience within the other friends or opponent. But let me tell you first about the MMORPG stand. MMORPG is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Most of the players who love to play a competitive game and push the player to develop their main hero to become the strongest character on the server, then I will recommend you MMORPG. From the game's developer side, they will get a huge profit because the game will have a PvP feature. Through PvP, all players will compete with each other to get the highest tier equipment, no matter if they get it through looting items from the monster drop items or by the store. That's why many MMORPGs are not pretty newbies friendly, especially for free-to-play players. The developer will get a huge profit and income by the player behavior, which is the competitive one. Right now, we all notice how the MMORPG is getting so generic by the gameplay, especially if the Chinese company or a small games developer made a game. Mostly they have an authentic visual and gameplay. But please note, if you are a newbie, then I highly recommend you to play MMORPG, no pay to win. I would love to give you a game's example like Toram Online, Noah Online, Sword Art Online Integral Factor, and Iroh Tales. Even some of them have a trade system that lets the player sell and buy some item or equipment between the players that can be done in a real-time transaction. With the trade system features, will make the MMORPG game get fair and balanced, because the items that we got from the monster drop item will be tradable and we don't have to get any premium item from the store. In fact, MMORPG is one of the game's genres that can make a game that lasts longer and even can still exist for more than 10 years, like Toram Online or Kus Online. But if you would like to get the hardcore MMO, then I would suggest you all be on mobile. JRPG, RPG or MMORPG has so many games titles that we can easily find in many different platforms, from the Xbox series, mobile, PC or console level. Every single day the developer will keep consistency on making the new game with so much idea and different player perspective to attract the new players to get into this genre. I wonder if the number of the fans who are willing to play those games will reach more than 100 million players worldwide. So these all are the reason why I can explain perfectly and accurately, because I'm one of the most fanatic fans who have been playing the game since I was a kid. It's impossible not to enjoy the game that I have mentioned, because the player who's playing this game has the average age of 19 to 40 years old. Seriously, this old games genre is one of the most popular and has the most active community on any games genre. I is the one from million players who keep waiting for the new game's title. Through this video, I really hope you all understand the difference between MMORPG, JRPG and RPG, because sometimes some people would say wrong games genre. For example, I will clearly tell you about the Genshin Impact is RPG. It's not JRPG because the game is made by a Chinese games developer and not from Japanese. Genshin Impact is RPG because we can't play the game in a massive number of players in multiplayer, which is mean it's not an MMORPG games type. I know it's quite tricky because sometimes RPG game has a multiplayer base, especially when we do a raid boss to invite some friends into our team lanes up. But this kind of feature is not be able to call as the MMORPG, because the numbers should be more massive, like the server can access for more than 100 players at once or even 1,000 players at once. That's what the MMORPG main standard is. So it's up to you now to pick which genre you prefer. Our team give you the explanation in detail and we try to deliver it through a simple word. Some of the game's example will make it easier to describe or to imagine about the game's genre, because we give you the most popular game's title and I'm sure you are pretty familiar with these games. Anyway, could you please check the video that I have written on the description? We give you the best video to watch after every single top list, by a top gacha, no autoplay game, no pay to win game, best RPG and many more. If you are a games developer, then our team is opening the advertisement, so you can offer the game's price and we'll promote your games as well as we can. As a viewer, I would love to see you all getting active on comment and our team would love to reply one by one. If you have any question or a different answer, please feel free to let me know and we would like to read your comment in the comment box below. Can you help me to like this video to support us? See you in the next video. Thanks.
At your command. Meet and fighting! Maximum fire!